Welcome back, everybody. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Tyler and I'm a 26-year-old farmer. This is Edgar, my shop helper. And today we are doing a load shaft replacement on a John Deere 4955. As you can see here, I have quite a mess going on. So the load shaft, which I got out right there, it's always been leaking like that as long as I can remember, and you know, never really worried about it until last week where I just decided to tear it apart. And you know, I rely on YouTube a lot about how to do things and whatnot, and there's a lot of similar videos replacing the load shaft stuff. And in this case, there's not one on the 4955. Kind of concerning, but whatever I don't figure out, I'll make my dad figure out. So let's have some fun. So I got my two seals, my thrust washers, and two bearings, as well as lock rings. Let me be clear, this is probably not a tutorial, it's more of a how not to video or why did you do that video. So just throwing that out there. So I got that arm slid off, I took the shaft out a little bit. Now I got it draining oil. You got another bucket here ready. So I'm not in a super comfy position, but here's the inside of the housing. Right here, I got my seal, then a snap ring on the inside, and then the bearing housing. The bearing has a bunch of pins in it that are not there anymore. So I need to get these three out. I'm definitely not in a comfy position. Very tight. You're scrunched together, so you're out of breath. So, very fun. So I got both bearings out. There's one, there's two. Here's the inside, I don't know if you can see very well. But there's little pieces of steel all in that housing. Somehow I gotta clean that out. To get the bearings out, you see there's two notches on each side of the hole there. You just stick a long bar to the other side and just gently tap out the bearing. It actually came out pretty easily. I used a piece of rebar. I got the shaft out finally. I got it all cleaned up. Doesn't look too bad. This is where the bearing rides, as well as the other side. Got it all cleaned up, made sure all the grooves are clean, and got the other pieces out and cleaned up the inside so it's easy to slide on. Overall, not a terrible job if you know what you're doing. Since there's so much shavings inside the housing there, I ordered a screen for the 5-gallon bucket, and I'm gonna screen that oil, and then we're gonna dump that oil back in the tractor to help drain out the rest of the shavings there that I can't get with the magnet. So we're gonna jump into changing the filters. Right in here, the two filter housings, both of them, one's transmission, one's hydraulic. These are 19mm bolt heads. So I got him opened up. There's the canister, new filter. Took the seal off of here, so there's a new seal in here. Make sure to put that on there. So the next thing we need to do is take this line off right here. It comes into here. There's 3 bolts you got to take out. They're 1/2 inch size for at least this model. And then where it goes in down here, there's a nut in between these two filters that you need to screw off to take this hose off, because this needs to come all the way off. So you had to take one of the filters off to get to that nut. Loosen that up. Loosen the top up. Loosen the top up here. And this just swings out. That lets you get this piece of pipe out. When you get that pipe out, there's a hole right there. And you'll eventually pull out this fella. And when you get that guy out, this guy's next. He wasn't too easy. He's in there pretty far, but the trick is to use the steel one, shove it in there and kind of turn it and twist it till it slowly comes out. That's how I got this one out. And I mean, it's full of just steel shavings. Here's a new screen I got for it. this is going to go inside of it. So we're going to slide this right in here. Okay, there's an O-ring that you got to replace inside of here, and as well as the one on the end of this hose. Now I'm ready to stick the hose back in here. So I got it in, put the snap ring in. Might be a little easy to just give a few taps on the end of this with the rubber mallet to make sure it goes in all the way and seats in. But now you're free to tighten down this guy as well as up top. You will need a new gasket for this guy when you put him back on here, so clean this off pretty well and put your gasket on there. Nice and easy, make sure the gasket's seated in there nicely. Put your 2 filters back in the hole, slide your pipe on there. You got your new O-rings on. Easy peasy. Well, after a 4-day layover, I'm back in business. You know, we had the New Year's Eve celebrations, New Year's Day. I came down with a man cold, you know, the typical stuffy nose, slight sore throat, makes you feel like you're dying. Your wife has to take care of you pretty good. Just, yeah, I overcame that, and now we're back out here. So I got my hydraulic oil buckets that came out of the tractor. I bought a screen to screen these. I want to use this oil, put it back in the tractor, try to drain out the excess steel shavings in there before I get it back all put together. So I got it all flushed out and I'm ready to put the bearing in. I got this part cleaned out. Make sure there's no debris in there so the bearing sits in nice. Here's my bearing. I put some number 12 gauge wire in there to help hold the pins in. I'm not sure if that'll help, but it makes me feel better. There, I got the bearing in all the way. It went pretty easy. You can kind of see there's a groove here the snap ring goes in next. Hey, you do not need to eat everything on the floor. What? Ready to put the shaft in?
Yeah.
Got it clean.
That ain't clean.
It's clean enough.
Not for my creeper. I'm not gonna move around there. Still got.
It'll be fine. I had it before.
Let's do it.
I want the bolt on this side.
All right.
Okay. Yep. Easy peasy.
Okay, where's your seals?
On a bench.
Are you ready to put the seals on?
Should I be?
What?
Alright, we got the seal in. First try.
Nice job, Ty. Way to go.
She sits in there pretty good. Pretty happy with myself. Well guys, the rest of the video is just putting it back together, which it's pretty easy, I think. So next piece will be putting the washers back on the shaft. These pieces and a couple pieces to keep them together. So I finally got it all put back together. The last thing I have to do is put hydraulic fluid back in it. That's probably gonna be tomorrow. Overall, it went pretty good. I mean, there's what it looks like when it's all back together on that side. And then that side. Hopefully that takes care of the problem. Like I said, this wasn't really a how-to video. It was more of a, I'm just gonna dive into it and see what I can do to fix it. So if there's parts where I didn't film, where maybe installing a bearing, I'm sorry. I'm not used to carrying a camera with me the whole time, but hopefully this helps. If you're just gonna dive into it and change them yourselves, it wasn't bad. If I can do it, you can do it. So, and if you follow my channel, we'll be doing the same thing on the 4020. I can hardly contain my excitement. So this was quite the project, but I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't mind doing it again since I know what I'm doing this time. Jumping into something that you don't know how to do for the first time, it's always a sketchy thing to do. Like, you're just not sure how to do it. You're gonna do it right, but overall it wasn't too bad. Granted, I'm not 100% done with it yet, but for the sake of the video, it's good enough. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, and give me a thumbs up and subscribe, please. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. There's probably a reason why there's no other video about the 4955 and 4960 series load shaft replacements, because, well, it's not very fun. Dodger, 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 Dodger. Hey, you're not a big fan?